Yeah, good morning. Good morning, students. So I am going to explain. So waiting for your attendance. We are discussing about the reproduction chapter revision here. So waiting for your attendance. Those who joined first like and give your attendance. Like the live and comment first. It will reach more people. Okay. So here I am asking you a question. We are looking in our surroundings different kinds of organisms, different kinds of organisms. Okay, how do they get their offsprings? That is the question. How do they get their offsprings? So every organism they get their offsprings by a process. With that process, they continue their race, that species, which we call as reproduction. That process is called reproduction. Okay. So here the process reproduction it occur in different ways. That may be sexual reproduction or asexual reproduction. Okay. What is that process? Every organism they get their offspring by a process which we call as a reproduction. So that the methods of reproduction is different. So that I am going to show to you. Okay, I'm going to explain to you here. There are two types of reproductions. Okay, first, and here the methods which we are going to discuss. Two types of reproduction methods are there. I'm going to show to you on the screen. One is sexual, and another one is a asexual mode of reproduction. Look here, I'm going to share that. How many types of reproductions are there? What are those? Okay, I'm going to share to you here. You can check now. These are two types of reproductions. One is a sexual mode of reproduction, another one is a sexual mode of reproduction. Okay, so what is reproduction here actually? Reproduction is a process by which they get their offsprings. Look here. two types of reproduction: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Now we are going to discuss what is asexual mode of reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? Okay, here I am going to ask this question. What is sexual mode of reproduction? This is a question. What is asexual mode of reproduction? So we are going to discuss about asexual mode of reproduction. Is it audible? What is asexual mode of reproduction? Asexual mode of reproduction, here organisms, they won't have the sex organs. So like testes and ovary in animals, androecium and gynoecium like in plants, these are absent. Without these sex organs, they get their offspring. Okay, such a process. So here, if there are no sex organs, there are no gametes like sex cells, sperm and ovum, pollen grain, and ova in plants. These are absent. If these are absent, there is no fusion. If there is no fusion, there is no zygote formation. If there is no zygote formation, okay, there is no formation of baby actually. But instead of all, these are all absent, but they get their offspring. Such a process we call as a asexual mode of reproduction. Okay, asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual mode of reproduction occur in different ways in different organisms. Asexual mode of reproduction occur in different ways in different organisms. So about that we are going to discuss here. Okay. So here, first one is fission. Okay. Second one, budding. Third one, fragmentation. And fourth one, regeneration. Okay. Fourth one, regeneration. And fifth one is right, parthenogenesis. Okay. So here we can write the fourth one as a parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis. And the fifth one is regeneration. Okay, these five modes of reproduction, asexual reproduction, we will regeneration. These are all modes we are going to discuss in this question. So I am going to explain about this question. Okay, I am going to explain about this question. Look here. Here is a question. What is the question here? Check. Look here. The question. Okay, what is that question? What is asexual mode of reproduction? Explain the modes. What is asexual mode of reproduction? Without the fusion of gametes, they get their offspring. That is asexual mode of reproduction. Here are no sex organs are there, no gametes are there, no fusion is there. But asexual modes of explain about asexual modes of reproduction. Here the question explain about Explain. Asexual modes of reproduction. Okay, explain about asexual modes of reproduction. So here we are discussing about this. Asexual mode. Here, asexual modes of reproduction occur in 5 ways. One is fission, the another one is budding, third one is fragmentation, fourth one is parthenogenesis, and fifth one is regeneration. Okay, what is budding here? So budding process, if we observe in amoeba, euglena, paramecium, these are all unicellular organisms. Okay, so even bacteria also reproduce by splitting into two or more offsprings. This is usually occur in a symmetrical manner. This splitting into 2 by 2 is a binary fission. When more cells are formed is called a multi-fission. Okay. This is often the only the mode of reproduction in the organisms. Okay. When binary fission occur means when that organism is unable to reproduce by the sexual mode of reproduction, then it moves into the asexual mode of reproduction. That is a binary fission. Binary fission. Binary fission we can see in a amoeba, euglena, paramecium, and bacteria. So now I am going to show you binary fission pictures. Binary fission. Okay. Now we will check the binary. We are going to discuss about binary. Look here. These are all examples. See here, one nucleus first is going to divide and the cytoplasm is going to divide. Two daughter cells will form. Okay, here you can check the cursor where it is moving. Parent amoeba, elongation of nucleus, division of nucleus, two daughter cells formation. This is a binary fission we can see. Okay, clear. So this is about a binary. This is about binary fission. Next, we are going to discuss about the another one. What is that another one? Once again, come back. Screen share. The second one we are going to discuss, that is a budding. So we are going to discuss about budding. So in a hydra, we will find okay. Budding process we will find in a hydra. Now here we are going to check this. I am going to share the screen. This is budding processing. So here first parent hydra, and in the second one we are looking this. Number 2 is a bird formation, developed bird, and third one a new bird, which is detached from the parent and it can live as an individual one. Okay, this is about the budding, right? So birds formation occur on the hydra. Next, we are going to discuss about the third one. What is the third one? Fragmentation, right? What is fragmentation? What is fragmentation? So fragmentation, some can grow from a separate piece of parent organism. So a special growth we will find on the parent organism. So that special growth, this can be from any part of the body. So there is a special growth we will find from any part of the body. So for example, if we see this hydra, okay, maybe on the body or on the tentacle at the bottom, like this. For example, if our body maybe on the fingertip, palm, or face or hand, forelimb, okay, knees, elbows, sole, wherever it is, like different parts, from the different parts. Okay, this happens only the simplest, such as flatworm, moles, leeches, spirogyra. In these organisms itself, on their body, any part of that body, there is a special piece will grow, special uh, growth we will find on that in these organisms. Okay, these may also reproduce sexually. Okay, fragmentation is a common mode of reproduction in algae, fungi, and many land plants. So we will see the fragmentation process, algae, fungi in many plants. So fragmentation is asexual mode of reproduction. Those they can reproduce by the sexual mode also. So that is about the fragmentation. Next, we are going to discuss about the fourth one, that is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis. Remember, what is parthenogenesis? So you have to read up parthenogenesis thoroughly and perfectly. So here, what is given? Nowadays, to develop seedless fruits like watermelon, grapes, etc. This is a process of reproduction where there is a shift from sexual to asexual mode of reproduction. So, parthenogenesis, it is a process. It is a kind of process. This is actually what happened here. Sexual mode of reproduction transferred into asexual mode of reproduction. The sexual mode means a fusion of male and female gametes. But here, without fusion of male and female gametes, they form fruits which are without the seeds. So, in watermelon, in a grape, in pineapple, in apples, in guava, we are getting nowadays some seedless fruits. Okay, right? So this process is called parthenogenesis. How do you think this happens? So how this process, how does it occur? That we have to learn. See here, this is also occur in nature. Parthenogenesis occur in nature. Parthenogenesis artificially we can make it, and parthenogenesis occur in nature also. An organism which reproduce sexually, sometimes asexually. Okay, reproduce sexually, sometimes reproduce asexually. When we have utilized this process of reproduction in growing organisms of our choice, with the more desirable characters. In this process, generally the female gametes develop into zygote without fertilization. So this process occur in nature naturally. What is this process? Some of the organs they reproduce most of the time sexually. Sometimes that sexual reproduction changes into asexual reproduction. So this is a more desirable characters we will get. So we can develop with our desirable characters. Whatever the new characters we need, which we will develop in that. See once again, we have utilized this process of in growing organs of our choice according to our need. Okay, with a more desirable characters. So more desirable, whatever the need, whatever the characters which we need, that we can develop in that, in them, in those organs. This process generally the female gamete developed into zygote without fertilization. Okay. In parthenogenesis, what happens here? Female gamete, female sex cell, without fusion of male sex cell, directly change as a zygote without fusion. That is parthenogenesis. Okay. Would it involve two parents? So here is there two parents. This strategy kind of strange kind of reproduction occur in bees, ants, and wasps. So this kind of reproduction we can see bees, ants, and wasps. The zygote might developed from fertilized egg or by parthenogenesis. When meiosis does not occur, the parthenocarpic zygote developed into male monoploid, while the fertilized one developed into female diploid. Okay, so what it says in ants, in wasps, and honeybees, if you see bees, zygote developed from fertilized egg. Okay, or by parthenogenesis. So if there is a fusion occur, male and female gametes fusion occur, that change as zygote. That is a sexual mode of reproduction. Sometimes ovum, female gamete, without fusion, it forms a zygote. Okay, clear? When meiosis does not occur, if there is no meiosis process in that cells, so this process is going to happen. The parthenocarpic zygote developed into male. Parthenocarpic means what here? Without fusion of without fusion, whatever the ovule changed as zygote, that is a parthenocarpic. Okay, that change as a male. While the fertilized one developed into female, okay, it is a diploid. So without fusion, whatever the fruit formation occur, that is a parthenocarpy, that is a male one. In that only one set of chromosomes are there. With the fusion, zygote, whatever it forms, that is female zygote, sexual mode of reproduction, that is diploid cell. Okay. So this is the difference between the parthenogenesis. Okay. Nitish Kumar. Thank you. Who is that Nitish? Thank you. Thank you for being here. Here, what is parthenogenesis? I am explaining the fourth concept here. Parthenogenesis means here, without the fusion of gametes, ovum change as a fruit. Okay. See, in this process, generally female gametes developed into zygote without fertilization. Without fertilization, that seedless fruits formation occur. About that, I am explaining here. If the fusion occur, that is a zygote that forms a diploid zygote, that is a female one. Without fusion, parthenocarpy, that is a male haploid. That is the difference. Next, we are going to discuss about last one. This last one, what? Regeneration. Regeneration. Okay. Many organisms have the ability to give rise to new individual organisms from their body parts. Many organisms, they have ability to give their offsprings from their body parts. Number of the organisms, they have that ability. That is, if the individual is somehow cut or broken up into many pieces, these pieces go into separate individuals. This is similar to fragmentation. This is similar to fragmentation. So here, what is the difference between the fragmentation, regeneration? We have to discuss. Actually, every organism, they are able to reproduce from their body parts, their offsprings. Okay. So in regeneration, some of the pieces will form from the body part that grow as an individual organism. But in a fragmentation, one of the part which will give their offspring from the particular part, a piece of the part that organism, they give their offspring. But here, any part, if it is broken as a pieces, so how many parts, how many pieces may form, that all parts they grow as an individual organism. That is the difference between the regeneration and the fragmentation. Okay. Parthenogenesis. So desired characters we will get. So here fertile egg change as a diploid zygote. Unfertile egg change as a haploid parthenocarpy. That is a seedless fruits formation. That is the difference between fragmentation, parthenogenesis, and regeneration. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the next question. Okay, next question. What is the next question? Explain about natural vegetative propagation. Explain about natural vegetative propagation. I'm going to change a question. I am going to change here. Okay. Explain about natural vegetative propagation. So here, natural vegetative propagation, it occur in the nature naturally. This is called a natural vegetative propagation. Okay. So this natural vegetative propagation occur through leaves, through stem, through root. Okay. So vegetative propagation occur with stem, leaves. Through these three parts, vegetative propagation occur. Okay. What is vegetative propagation here actually? Through the vegetal parts, they get their offsprings. they get their offspring. So if we observe bryophyllum leaves, upon the bryophyllum leaves, we will find some birds. Okay, on the bryophyllum leaves, we will find some birds. Let me show that. You can check. Okay, this is a bryophyllum leaf. Upon this leaf, upon this leaves, birds formation occurs. Some small plants formation occurs, which will drop off from the plant. Okay, which will drop off from the plant. My which will drop off from the plants and they grow as a individual plants. Okay. So through the leaf they get their offspring. That is one. Next we are going to discuss about stem. Okay. Upon the stems, through the stem they get their offspring. Okay. If you see some plants, okay, like grass plants, okay, they their adventurous roots, grass plants, okay, grass plants, yes. Okay, they have their adventurous roots, so they they grow continuously on the earth. Though they detach from the parent one, they cannot live individually. Okay, they contact with the soil continuously. They grow. Though that internode detached from the parent, they can live individually. So through the stem also they get their offsprings like grass plants. So aerial weak stems like runners and the stolons. Okay, runners and the stolons. So you can check that. Yeah, now I am going to show you runners and stolen folks. We will check this one. I am going to show for you this one. Check here. These are so here runners. At the internode, they get their roots. Though that internode cut, they can live individually. They can live individually. Right? Next, we are going to discuss about the root. If you see root, okay, in what kind of plants? Curry leaf and banana plants. At the root system, they get their offsprings. Okay, through the root, through the root. Okay. They get their offsprings. In the surrounding area of the root, you will find more number of plants. Is it? So from their surroundings, from their root system, number of plants you will find. If there is one plant is there, around the plant, more number of plants will grow. Okay. Even banana also the same. So from the root they get their offspring. So through leaf, through stem, through root they get their offsprings without fusion of gametes. So that is the reason which we call as asexual mode of reproduction. Those are known as asexual mode of reproduction. Next we are going to discuss about explain about artificial vegetative propagation. Artificial vegetative propagation. Okay. Natural vegetative propagation, artificial vegetative propagation. So artificial vegetative propagation, first one is cutting. Okay. Second one is layering. Okay. Second one is layering. And third one is grafting. Cutting, layering, and grafting. So here three types of artificial propagations are there. Cutting, layering, and grafting. These three types of artificial propagations we are going to read in this concept. Artificial means we made ourselves for this process. So here what is cutting? So for example, hibiscus, sugarcane, some parts of the plants we are going to cut and we will sown inside the soil. They can grow as a individual plants. So that is a cutting. Okay. So examples rose, hibiscus, sugarcane, potato, ice of potato. These are all common. Next, what we are going to discuss about layering. So about that, I told to you air layering and ground layering. So layers. So in air layering means, for example, one of the branch of the rose plant, we remove the bark 2 to 5 centimeters, and we kept around that bark some phytoplankton, and we use a polythene cover around it, and we will tie a thread. After a few days, we will find some special roots at that place. So that roots below we will cut and we will sow that part of the plant. It can grow as a individual. So the whole process we are doing in the earth, this is called air layering. Ground layering means one branch we will choose, which is a lengthy one. Upon that branch, we will remove the bark of 5 centimeters up to, and we bend it and we make it to contact that branch with the soil, and we will keep on that soil and we will keep some weight until they get the roots at that place. After getting the roots, we are going to cut the parent one from the adventitious roots where we get where that pot get. So that can grow as an individual one. So here air layering and ground layering, this two we are going to discuss. Okay, in the layering. Third one we are going to discuss about grafting. Okay, grafting. What is grafting? Desirable characters we will develop in the plants by using different methods here. That is called grafting. So approach, cleft, tongue, bird grafting we will discuss in this. Approach means one contact with another one by removing the bark. We will keep together. Okay. After it becomes unite. So the root portion which is there, in that whatever the characters are there, that reaches to the cyan, the upper portion which we are going to add. So I told to you two potted plants you have to take. So one potted plant root system we want to continue. The another potted plant root system we have to cut. Then upper portion which we added, okay, that we will keep it, and the another one plant shoot system we will cut it. So the portion which we take along with the root system, that is a root stock or stock, the portion which we added to the root stock, that is called cyan. So root portion characters entered into the added portion which is another plant cyan. So that is approach. Next cleft means we will cut it V shape, and the another plant we make it a sharp and we insert like V shape in this. That is called a cleft grafting. Next we are discussing about bird grafting. We are going to cut the root stock like a T shape, and we will insert a bird and we will tie it. That bird unite and it will grow continuously. That is a bird grafting. Last one is a tongue grafting. We cut that bark like a tongue. So root stock down to up, cyan up to down. We will make it and we will insert in that like tongue shape. We will cut and we can make it unite. After it become unite, we will remove the uh, whatever we don't want the character portion, that we will remove, and root stock we will keep which characters we will transfer into the cyan. So here approach, cleft, tongue, and bird graftings are there in this method. So this is artificial propagation. This is what artificial propagation. That's it. So today's question, artificial propagation. Yesterday question, natural vegetative propagation. Explain it. To be